I just turned 70. And let me tell you, there are things I wish someone had told me years ago. You think you're ready, you've retired, maybe the kids are grown, you think life will finally slow down and get easier. But the truth? Some of the biggest surprises, challenges, and joys in life happen after 70. So whether you're 60, 65, or already past 70, these are the 10 things I wish I had known sooner. Because it's never too late to learn something that changes your life. First point. Your energy becomes your most valuable currency. If I could go back 10 or 15 years, I wouldn't worry myself about money, or even about my health first. I would say one thing: protect your energy, it's more valuable than gold. When I turned 70, one of the biggest surprises wasn't just the gray hair or the slower pace. It was realizing how limited my energy had become. I used to power through days with endless tasks. I'd run errands, visit people, cook for family, and still have the strength to talk on the phone at night. No. Some days, just folding laundry and answering 1 or 2 phone calls feels like enough. And here's what nobody tells you: energy isn't just physical. It's mental, emotional, spiritual. And when you spend it on the wrong things or the wrong people, it's gone. Sometimes for the whole day. You can't pour from an empty cup. Unknown. It's not about being lazy. It's about being smart. You don't owe your energy to everyone and everything. At this stage in life, you get to be intentional. You get to choose how and where to spend your energy, just like a budget. Here's what I learned to do. I protect my mornings. No phone calls. No chaos. Just quiet time, maybe coffee and a walk, or even just looking out the window. That first hour sets the tone for my entire day. I say no more. If something feels too heavy or stressful, I just don't do it. And you know what? The world keeps turning. I keep my circle small. Not everyone deserves access to your time or presence. The people who energize you, keep them close. The rest, let them go gently. I rest when I need it, not when it's convenient. I used to feel guilty napping or relaxing in the afternoon. Now I see it as recharging an investment in myself. Energy is the essence of life. Guard it like treasure, and give it only to what truly matters. If you're approaching 70, or already there, remember, you don't need more stuff or more noise. You need more peace. And peace starts with how you spend your energy. Point 2. Friendships change, and that's okay. No one really prepares you for how friendships shift as you get older. Some fade quietly. Some disappear completely. And some, surprisingly, deepen. When I was younger, I thought the people I laughed with in my 40s and 50s would still be there when I turned 70. But life has a way of rearranging your circle. Some friends moved away. Others became too busy with their grandchildren or their own health issues. And a few, sadly, I lost to time. At first, I took it personally. I wondered, did I do something wrong? But then I realized, this is part of life. People come and go, not always because of conflict, sometimes simply because their season in your life is over. Some friends are only meant to walk with you for a while. That doesn't make them less important. Mitch Albom. Here's what I learned. Let go without bitterness. Not every friendship ends with a fight. Some just gently drift apart. Don't carry anger, carry the good memories. Make room for new connections. Believe it or not, I've made some of my most meaningful friendships after 70 at the library, in walking groups, and even online. Nurture the few who remain. The older we get, the more precious our relationships become. Even a 10-minute phone call can mean everything. Be your own best company. Learn to enjoy time alone. Solitude is not loneliness, it's peace. The more you like yourself, the less you rely on others to make you feel whole. There's a quiet freedom in accepting that not everyone is meant to stay. And there's power in knowing that even if your circle gets smaller, it can still be stronger and more meaningful. True friends walk in when the rest of the world walks out. Walter Winchell. So don't be afraid of friendship changing. Embrace it. Honor what was, welcome what is, and be open to what's next. Point 3. Health is no longer optional. It's your foundation. I used to say, at least I have my health. Now I say, without my health, nothing else works. When we're younger, we treat good health like it's guaranteed. We eat whatever we want, stay up late, skip checkups, and still feel fine. But after 70, your body starts sending you messages. And if you don't listen, you'll pay the price, in pain, limitations, and loss of independence. At this stage of life, health isn't just something you hope for, it becomes the foundation for everything else. Without it, even simple joys, like walking through the park, standing in the kitchen to cook, or playing with your grandkids, can feel out of reach. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Jim Rohn. Here's what I've learned. Movement is no longer optional, it's essential. I walk for 20 minutes every morning. Nothing intense, nothing fancy. Just steady movement to keep everything flowing. Sleep is better than any medicine. I started going to bed earlier, dimming the lights, and keeping the phone out of the bedroom. A full night's sleep gives me more energy than a cup of coffee ever could. Food is fuel, not just flavor. I used to eat whatever tasted good. Now I eat to feel good. More greens, fruits, and water. Less sugar, less processed stuff. My body thanks me every day. Get checkups before you feel something's wrong. A small routine test can catch a big problem early. I learned this the hard way after ignoring a tiny issue that became serious. The groundwork for all happiness is good health. Lee Hunt. At this age, there's no greater freedom than having a body that still lets you live your life, on your own terms. So don't wait for a wake-up call. Start small, start now, because every little habit you build today adds more life to your years tomorrow. Point 4. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. At 70, the race is over. The only person you need to impress is yourself. When I was younger, I spent so much time trying to be someone. To be liked, to be respected, to be seen as successful. I said yes to things I didn't want, bought things I didn't need, and stayed in conversations that didn't nourish me, just to maintain an image. But here's what I've learned in my later years. That image? It doesn't matter. You don't need to prove your worth anymore. Not to your children. Not to society. Not even to your past self. This stage of life is not about performance. It's about peace. Care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. Lao Tzu. What does this look like in real life? You don't need to justify your choices. Want to live in a smaller place? Sleep in longer? Take up painting at 75? You don't need permission. You don't need everyone's approval. Some people won't understand your boundaries, your slower pace, or your joy in simple things. That's okay. Let them go. You don't need to compete. It's not about who has the most money, the most visitors, or the most exciting retirement. You've done enough. Now's the time to just be. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You've lived long enough to know what matters to you. And that's enough. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be. At this point in life, peace of mind is the real success. Let go of the pressure to impress. The real win is waking up in the morning and liking who you are, exactly as you are. You've earned the right to rest, to slow down, to choose yourself. Point 5. Time feels faster, so be present on purpose. The days feel long, but the years, they fly by. One of the strangest things about aging is how fast time starts to move. I remember being in my 30s and thinking a year felt like a lifetime. No. I blink and the holidays come back around. Grandkids grow taller. Old friends move away or pass on. Seasons blur. And I started asking myself, am I really living these days or just watching them pass? That's when I made a decision. I stopped trying to fill my days with more stuff and started filling them with more presence. Wherever you are, be all there. Jim Elliot. How to slow down and truly live. Be where your feet are. Whether you're having tea, folding laundry, or sitting on the porch, be there. Feel the moment. Use your senses. Listen to the birds. Taste your food. Watch the sunlight move across the room. These tiny things are what real life is made of. Put the phone down. You don't need to scroll your days away. Make memories in your heart, not just on a screen. Savor people, not just moments. When you're with family or friends, don't rush it. Ask questions. Hold their hand. Look them in the eye. Make room for quiet. Stillness isn't empty, it's sacred. Some of my most peaceful days are the ones with no agenda, just me and the rhythm of life. Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. Time won't slow down for us, but we can slow ourselves down. Be present. Be awake. Be grateful. Because in the end, the only moments we truly own are the ones we actually lived. Point 6. Retirement is not the end, it's a reinvention. You didn't stop living when you retired, you just got the freedom to finally live on your own terms. For decades we worked. We raised families, paid bills, woke up early, and answered to someone else's schedule. Then comes retirement, and suddenly, the calendar is blank. No more deadlines. No more meetings. No more alarms at 6 a.m. And while some people celebrate that freedom, many others feel lost. Like they've lost their purpose, their identity. But here's the truth I want you to hold on to. Retirement isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a whole new chapter. Don't retire from something. Retire to something. Harry Emerson Fosdick. Here's what I've learned about reinventing life after retirement. Rediscover your passions. Remember the things you used to love but had no time for? Now's your chance to return to them, or try something entirely new. Explore without pressure. You don't need to become an expert. You just need to be curious. Take a class. Learn an instrument. Travel somewhere close or far. Give back in a way that fulfills you. Volunteer at your pace. Mentor someone. Share your skills. You still have so much to offer the world. Create your own rhythm. Want to wake up late and write poetry? Go for it. Want to walk at sunrise and have a nap after lunch? That's your new schedule. This chapter of life isn't about climbing the ladder. It's about planting your own garden. Don't see retirement as fading away. See it as a return to your voice, your time, your joy. Because now, for the first time in a long time, you get to choose what your days are made of. Point 7. Your mind needs just as much care as your body. You spend a lifetime filling your mind. Now's the time to feed it. As we age, we talk a lot about staying physically healthy, walking, eating better, keeping the heart strong. But we don't talk nearly enough about keeping our minds strong, sharp, and joyful. Your brain is like a garden. If you don't tend it, weeds grow, fear, anxiety, boredom, even depression. But if you nurture it, it can stay vibrant long into your 80s, 90s, and beyond. And it's not about solving math problems or doing puzzles, though those help too. It's about living a life that keeps your spirit awake. You don't stop laughing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop laughing. George Bernard Shaw. Here's how I keep my mind alive. Stay curious. I read every day, books, articles, even new recipes. Learning something small each day gives my brain a reason to stretch. Limit negativity. I stopped watching the news all day. I limit my time with people who only complain. Peace isn't passive, it's intentional. Talk about ideas, not just people. I make time for real conversations, about dreams, memories, hopes. That's where the richness is. Practice gratitude. Every morning, I name 3 things I'm thankful for. That single habit has done more for my mind than any supplement. Create something. Write, paint, sing, build. It's not about being perfect, it's about keeping the creative spark alive. A happy mind creates a happy life. In this chapter of life, your mental well-being is everything. Feed your mind with beauty, wisdom, challenge, and joy. Because a bright mind keeps the heart young and the soul alive. Point 8. People won't always be there, so cherish them now. You never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Dr. Seuss. In our later years, one of the hardest things we face is loss. We lose friends. We lose family. Sometimes slowly. Sometimes suddenly. And it reminds us, time with the people we love is the most precious thing we have. I used to think, I'll call them next week. Or, I'll visit once I feel better. But now I know, next week isn't guaranteed. Here's what I've learned to do differently. Say what matters, while you still can. If you love someone, tell them. If you miss someone, call them. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just say it. Make memories, not regrets. Go to the birthday party. Take the road trip. Sit and talk for hours. These little things become the big things later. Forgive quickly. That grudge you're holding? It's not worth the wait. Sometimes peace is more important than being right. Be fully present when you're with people. Put the phone down. Turn off the TV. Look them in the eye. Listen. Laugh. Hold their hand. Don't take anyone for granted. Even the ones you see every day won't be there forever. Every conversation could be the last. Make it count. Enjoy the little things in life, because one day you'll look back and realize they were the big things. The older we get, the more we realize. It's not the money, the house, or the possessions we remember. It's the people. The voices. The hugs. The shared laughter. So hold your people close. Tell your stories. Make the phone call. Take the picture. Because when the time comes to look back, those are the moments that will light up your heart. Point 9. You're still learning, and that's a beautiful thing. As long as you're alive, life is still your teacher. There's a common myth that learning ends when we leave school, or that older people have nothing new left to discover. But let me tell you, some of the most important lessons I've learned came after I turned 70. We are not done growing. We are not done changing. And we are certainly not done learning. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Henry Ford. What learning looks like in this season of life. I learned to let go of perfection. Life doesn't always go to plan, and that's okay. The peace I found in acceptance is something I never had in my younger years. I've learned to truly listen. I don't need to talk the most or win the argument. I've learned that quiet understanding is more powerful than loud opinions. I've learned new things, literally. I picked up how to use new technology, joined an online group, and even tried painting for the first time. Every new skill feels like a little victory. I've learned that it's okay not to know. Asking questions isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Being curious keeps us engaged with the world and with ourselves. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Mahatma Gandhi. The world is changing, yes. But so are you. And when you give yourself permission to keep learning, growing, exploring, you stay alive in every sense of the word. This stage of life isn't about knowing it all. It's about opening yourself up to all there still is to feel, to learn, to love. Because when the heart stays open, the mind stays young. Point 10. Your story matters. Share it. You've lived through decades of joy, pain, change, and love, and your story could be someone else's survival guide. One of the most overlooked treasures in our lives is our own story. We often think, who would want to hear about my life? Or, I'm just an ordinary person. But let me tell you, there is no such thing as an ordinary life. Especially not one lived with heart, resilience, and wisdom. You've seen the world change in ways few can understand. You've overcome challenges others are still facing. You've loved, lost, endured, laughed, and grown. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. Maya Angelou. Why your story matters. It connects generations. Sharing your story bridges the gap between young and old. It helps your children and grandchildren understand who they are and where they come from. It brings healing. Telling your story helps you make peace with it. Even painful memories become meaningful when you offer them as lessons to others. It inspires others. You never know who needs to hear that you struggled too, that you made it through, that hope is still possible. It leaves a legacy. Money fades. Things break. But your words, your experiences, can live on and help others long after you're gone. Every person is a library. Don't let yours go unread. Write it down. Record your voice. Tell it over a cup of tea. Pass it on. Because your story doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. It just has to be real. And someone out there, maybe someone you love, needs to hear it. The most painful lessons in life often become the most powerful wisdom if you're brave enough to share them. Let me ask you this. Have you ever looked back and thought, I wish I had done that differently? Because I have. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to make the same mistake. I moved into a nursing home too soon, and it taught me one of the most important lessons of my life. Never give up your independence too quickly. Never assume your story is over. Because some of the best years of your life can still be ahead of you. So don't waste them. Cherish your energy. Simplify your life. Learn, forgive, and keep dreaming. And most of all, share your story because someone out there truly needs it. This isn't the end, my friend. This is a new beginning. If this message touched your heart, do me a favor. Like this video, leave a comment with a lesson that hit you the hardest, and subscribe so you don't miss more content like this. You never know. The next video might be the one that changes your life.